Hey guys, it's Spaces Sims, and we are back with more Radiant Tale, continuing Ion's route in Chapter 6 now, so fully in his route. And we were just going around visiting everyone with Calivis, who's now part of our crew. And we just had some fun adventures with Zephora and Rady. Vilio, too, being a dragon and terrifying this chibi child. Also, Bird, I love you, but you can't poke me in the face. You have to simmer down, or you can go downstairs. Bird was with time, which you heard at the end, because he always likes to chirp. He knows now, because he just like snugs and sits here with me, but he freaking knows when I do my outro. He knows what that means. Like, I don't know, but he knows. Then he starts getting up. Okay, ready? I'm gonna get my potty break now, right? Like, it's just fucking bizarre. Like, how kind of stupid, but kind of smart he is. Like, I say you're stupid, but you're not very stupid. You're a very smart boy. Yes, you are. You're a very smart bird. You're jackass sometimes, but you're very smart, because you know that when we do the little outro at the end, that means it's stretchy, get up time. You're going to get to go to your potty break spot. And you also know not to poop on people's. Most of the time. Sometimes you're a big fat douchebag and you poop on me anyway, but you know better. You do know better and you get punished. He yelled at, told you he's a bad bird. No, he's a good birdie. I know. I think you understand what that means. Even when I say it in a nice voice. Okay, don't bite the microphone. Nobody wants that. If you're going to talk, you could chirp. You could chirp and say hi to people. He mumbles. He mumbles as you talk. It's funny because, like, other people's conures, they're like, oh, my conure says words and stuff. And I'm like, mine's an idiot. He doesn't know how to talk. But he does kind of mumble. Like, when you're talking to him, he's like, he makes, like, little grumbly noises. But most of the time, he doesn't talk. Probably, with knowing me, you're probably a female bird. And I would take you and get you DNA tested, and they tell me you're a Mrs. Neelix, and that would just ruin everything. You can't be a Mrs. Neelix. It's only Mr. Neelix. It's Mr. Neelix. Yeah, Mrs. No being a girl bird. You're a boy bird whether you like it or not. I won't get him DNA tested because I don't want to know. Like, I don't want to know, because then it would be like, oh, it's a girl. Well, but I've had you for like 9 years, and I've always thought of you as like a boy. Like, couldn't switch that, so. I know, you could be whatever you want. No, you're just a pretty bird, that's it. Anyway, hanging out with Pashalia now. Alright, so, gonna simmer down? Alright, one more time. Close your eyes and take slow. Oops. Take a slow, deep breath. Just like that. And now put your hand against the water and feel the spirits breathing. Pashalia was teaching Calivis how to control his magic, the most useful things. We left the city and went to a nearby stream where a lot of water spirits were. Don't give them any orders or try to make them obey you. What you should do is ask them a favor, like how you'd ask your friends. Give it a try, Calivis. Water magic. We're really close. You did better than last time, too. Let's give it another try. Okay. My face creased with delight, seeing how hard Calivis kept trying, even after failing so many times. Maybe the two of them just hit it off well, or perhaps Pashalia was simply a good teacher. Pashalia isn't the type who would make you feel down if you failed, so we could just keep trying without any worries. You're really good at teaching, Pashalia. Not at all. I simply have a hard-working student who was already smart from the start. He'll overtake me in no time once he gets the hang of it. If Calivis manages to fully control his power, then maybe we can leave all the magic performances to him. But you'll still take part in them, right? Pashalia simply smiled as he returned to teaching Calivis. I wouldn't say he was avoiding the question just now. He was just being himself. Oh, maybe we should start by having him practice asking the circus members for favors. Huh? Ions are like spirits. We all have different personalities, so we need to come up with different approaches when we make requests. If they all listen to him, there's a chance he can get the spirits to cooperate with him. I see. I think we should start with Ion. It'd be easy to get him to do a favor for us.
Is that so?
Mm-hmm. The cookies he makes are really great. They don't taste as sweet and strong as the ones sold in stores. They have such simple, gentle flavors. I'm craving them right now.
Me too.
Okay, let's go ask Ion. Wait, hold on. Aren't we getting off topic here? It's fine, don't worry. This is all part of the magic practice. I like how Pushali is like, we should try asking people for favors because that might help you. So like, let's start with asking Ion if he'll make us cookies because I want cookies. I mean, I see the point you're getting at, but I feel like this is very selfish, but it's kind of cute. Pushali might really consider both Circus and the spirits his friends. But why do I feel like he's just making up an excuse to eat snacks? Exactly. Oh well, at least Calivis seems happy. It warmed my heart when I imagined the two of them pestering Ion to make them cookies. I watched as Pashalia and Calivis walked toward the city. In the beginning, Calivis was so nervous and scared, I wasn't really sure whether he would warm up to everyone. Fortunately, he managed to fit in just fine. That day, Calivis and I were shopping for some ingredients to cook with.
Evo!
Are you okay? It's too heavy,
I'm fine. This much is nothing.
He's trying to impress me.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Oh, nothing. It's been a while since you joined us, you know? You've grown so much closer to everyone now. We continued chatting while walking. Huh. Hey, isn't that His Highness? We immediately halted our steps the moment we heard that. Did you just say His Highness? He's really here? People started gathering around us.
Who is he, Gramps?
That's Prince Calivis. He hasn't been around in a while, so it's okay not to know him yet. I'd heard you'd woken up from your slumber. I'm relieved to see you looking well.
You...
The street was filling with a crowd of people, all with curious eyes. This is bad. More and more people keep coming to see. One moment, please give His Highness some Unfortunately, my voice alone wasn't enough to diffuse the situation. Here comes Ion, bodyguard to the prince.
Don't push.
We were almost separated because of the crowd, but then... Excuse me. A young man with piercing looks arrived to save us from the swarm. His Highness is still recovering. I'd appreciate it if you could let him go. Who are you? I'm a member of the National Performing Group, Circus.
Were you the ones who thawed his heart?
And that's right. We'll be holding a show to commemorate His Highness's recovery next week in the plaza. His Highness will also be taking the stage to express his gratitude to the citizenry. Calivis nodded in a panic while meeting the curious gazes of the crowd.
I'm currently practicing for the show. I'll do my best to make it a great one.
To think His Highness would perform for us!
And save all the congratulations until then. With that said, we will take our leave. Come and see us then. Ion lifted the little prince and held him under his arm. He's just carrying him like a sack. We quickly left the situation before the crowd could say anything else. He's carrying him, the prince's like legs dangling one way, his arms just hanging there. I let out a deep breath the moment we arrived at Liber. Thanks for saving us, Ion. No need to thank me. I forgot how huge His Highness's influence is. I never expected so many people would gather around him like that. Maybe we should put him in a disguise next time.
I know they're happy about my recovery, and I appreciate their feelings. But it's kind of scary to have so many people surround you like that.
And just so you know, there will be way more people during the show. I gave the two of them a sideways glance. The show, huh? I relaxed myself, enjoying the cocoa Ion made for us as I thought about it. By the way, What kind of performance do you want to do, Calivis?
What do you mean by what kind?
Like how Vilio transforms into a dragon and uses fire magic in the air, or like Ion with his martial arts. We all usually incorporate our special skills into the show, but I have no idea what you want to do.
I've heard that those of the royal family possess great mana. How about you use that?
I considered that too at first, but
While it's true my mana is stronger than others, I still can't control it. Charlie has been teaching me how to control magic, but this morning, he accidentally froze the river.
Calivis muttered and his shoulders slumped.
But I can't do anything else besides magic. Even if I take the stage, I don't think I can entertain people like you all do. Why are you laughing? I'm being serious here.
Forgive me. You remind me of myself.
Flashing a rare smile, Ion looked in my direction.
I'm a man who is only good for fighting. I could never make anyone smile.
Ion said the exact same thing back when this all began.
Really? The audience looked so happy when I watched you guys. You were so cool. I wanted to be just like you.
Hearing that, a soft smile appeared on Ion's face. He glanced over at me and poured another cup of warm cocoa.
It was all thanks to Spacey that people could enjoy my performance. She taught me that no matter how tainted you are, no matter how dark your past, you can still make people happy. You can still make them smile.
Ion. He was far too self-deprecating. None of us ever thought he was tainted. Well, he does tend to say things like that, but I made a mental note to tell him how wrong he was later.
Can I pull it off like you, Ion? Will I be able to entertain the audience? Do you think I can make them all smile?
Even if you suck, they probably would smile and be happy just because you're the prince, so, nepotism is good for that.
I do. If I can do it, you can too.
And you've been practicing so hard to do just that after all.
Okay.
Doing Ion's voice does make me tired. I don't know what it is. Like not enough oxygen getting in my lungs. Calivis clenched his fists at those words.
Charlie had told me everything would be alright once I got over my stage fright.
I see. In other words, courage is the key. In that case, even someone who can't cast spells can help you out.
With a gentle smile on his face, Ion grabbed Calivis by the shoulders.
You'll get over your fear now, kid!
I'm just kidding.
Huh? Ion?
I know a special training that will help you gain more courage.
Is he going to do the mark on him? No. I totally forgot about this side of Ion, since he's usually so calm and gentle. But he's from Ferris, after all, a city full of muscleheads. Like, it's a city full of muscleheads, and you're like, you expect Vilio to come up with the stupid fucking ideas, and yet Ion came up with the stupid fucking idea and made Vilio get involved, and this chibi CG is the funniest fucking thing ever. Oh my god, look at our poor little chibi baby. Or chibi baby, because he looks like a chibi to begin with, but now he's in chibi form, and oh my god, Vilio, stop it. Oh my god. Calivis screamed, his voice echoing through the clear blue sky. We're all concerned, and Ion's like, he'll get over it. Ion is like our soft little marshmallow inside, but this is literally the Ion from the very beginning where you're like, oh, he's kind of cold and angry and standoffish, and you expect this from him then, not now. That's what makes it funnier.
Vilio, increase your speed just a tad.
Roger. Hold on tight, Calivis.
Hold on to what?
For Ion's special training, we took Vilio along and went to the meadow on the outskirts of the city. Isn't this a little far? While we had put great care into making sure Calivis wouldn't fall, it was still so scary to see the prince in such a state.
And courage is something you obtain through myriad experiences. It is not something you learn from a book. It may be somewhat rough, but this is the fastest way to become courageous.
or become terrified of heights. Oh, that doesn't make any sense at all.
And Calivis, and Vilio, let's take a break after one more lap. I've made some lunch for us.
Nice, I can't wait. Let me give you a special trick then. Somersault! Ah! Good luck, Calivis. I fucking love that we are torturing this child. I gave a small thumbs up to try and encourage him. Ion cooked us fried chicken. I was going to say, like, he cocked his head at us or something. No. Ion cooked us fried chicken, omelets, and sausages, among other things. We spread them all on the picnic blanket. A smile grew on my face at the sight of our lunchtime setup. This feels like a parent day somehow.
Parent Day?
It's an event where parents can come and see their child at school. We'd all try our best to impress them, like actively answering questions and all. It was a lot of fun. I closed my eyes, feeling nostalgic. Meanwhile, Ion was staring right at me.
I see. But your parents...
He stopped talking, a guilty look in his eyes. I guess he was being considerate. I know, and that's why I was usually so depressed on parent days. But one time Speria and Rady closed Liber just to attend. I was so happy that day.
You have such a good family. I could feel it when we dined together.
Oh, you mean...
You're Ion, right? I gotta admit, you do look a little scary, but you sure can cook, and that makes you a good man in my eyes. Say, if you have nowhere to go after this, why don't you take over Liber?
I shook my head after recalling something like that at such a strange time. Calivis and Vilio approached our picnic, having finished their last lap.
Man, I'm starving. What a delicious smell.
Welcome back, you two.
I cooked enough for everyone. I help yourselves.
I can't eat. I feel like my stomach's upside down.
You have some soup and other light foods you can eat. You'll be fine. I smiled at Calivis as I encouraged him. Vilio's eyes blinked wonderingly at us. What's wrong, Vilio?
Nothing. It just feels like listening to a conversation between a parent and a child. What? If I'm the child, then Ion is the father, and... Spacey's the mother. It matches up, right?
No, not at all. Right, Ion? Ion, don't give us data. Don't do that. Why don't we stop it?
I am the father. Oh, interesting.
I know, right? That means I'd be the...
Pet.
I was going to say family dog, and Ion finished it for me. Pet.
But why?
Because you're kind of dumb, like a labradoodle. A family. For a moment there, I wondered what it would be like to start a family with Ion. No, don't start thinking about... I mean, family as in, like, we're married and we're a family, but not like kids. Don't talk about kids. I hate that. What am I thinking? Shoot! Go away, thoughts! Although I do like the... We've adopted a Prince Chibi. I drank my cold tea all at once, looking away from the two men chatting happily on. Calivis tilted his head at me and opened his mouth to speak. Shove a sandwich in there.
Can I ask something?
Huh? Sure. What is it? Calivis quickly glanced over at Ion and Vilio. He leaned forward and whispered in my ear as if he was about to tell me a secret. Oh, good. At least the kid's got some sense.
Do you like Ion, Spacey?
Why are you asking me that? And no, I don't.
You smile so gently whenever you talk to him.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I treat everyone the same. I tried to dodge his question by stuffing some omelet into my mouth. For the rest of our lunch break, my eyes were basically glued to the ground. I couldn't bring myself to look up at all. I like the fact that Rady's like, well, you know, your unrequited love over there. I had to spice it up a little. And then Calivis is like,
you get all giggly when you look at him.
It's cute. Especially because she's like, oh, Ion and a fan. Wait, what? Yeah, she kind of knows. She ain't stupid. They only had a short time to prepare for the show, and it passed in the blink of an eye. Before we knew it, the big day had arrived. People flooded in wave after wave, all hoping to see the awakened prince. I thought I was going to say awkward prince. The tent continued to fill until there wasn't any room left in the audience. Some people are even standing. I've never seen this before.
It is the biggest crowd we've ever had, as expected of a commemoration show.
Look at his little outfit. Cute. Like the little jester. Are you ready, Calivis?
Not at all. My heart feels like it's about to explode. But
He clutched his chest and took a deep breath.
it's pounding out of fear, but also from happiness. When I think about how many people are overjoyed about my recovery, I feel like I have to show them the greatest performance ever.
And that is the spirit. Looks like my courage training has proved useful.
I don't want to do that ever again.
It was tough, I agree.
And now then, it's almost time. You will be the first performer. Can you do it?
I'll do my best.
We'll be cheering you on from here. Good luck, Calivis.
I'm off.
He looks so determined right there. With a little angry face. I gently pushed Calivis's back. He took the stage, the spotlight pouring down on him like sunlit honey.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming to our show today. I caused you a great deal of worry while I was lying in bed sick. Words can't describe my happiness now that I get to stand in front of you like this.
So, like, he's so adorable and then is, like, so princely in his tiny little body and it's kind of so cute. It makes you want to cry. I'm like, aw, tugging at my heartstrings.
Now, without further ado, please enjoy our first performance. I have prepared a new act that combines acrobatics with my specialty, ice magic. It's called Tango of War and Sorcery.
And then he kills everyone accidentally with a bunch of ice picks. The little prince bounced up and down on a sheet of ice that stretched across the stage. The ice sheet became taller and taller, rising as Calivis jumped higher and higher. His physical strength might be vastly inferior compared to Ion's, but his talent for magic made up for it, and the crowd cheered with excitement. Next stage, we were clenching our fists enthusiastically. Say, Ion, how would you rate your beloved pupil's performance?
I don't think I've taught him enough that I could call him my beloved pupil. But it is wonderful. He has assimilated what he learned and even put some arrangement to it. He will be fine now.
Ion? I didn't know why, but he sounded like he was planning to leave when he said that. The next moment, Ion patted my shoulders lightly.
All right, it's time for me to barge into the stage. I'll be going.
Okay, good luck. Ion went straight out without replying to me. I watched his performance, feeling strangely distant from him. Because Aleste is probably like, yeah, okay, you can't go with them because you're gonna, you know what I mean? Oh, I wonder if it's like you have to find the ring. That's your main mission. You can do a show like if they're here. So when we were like, oh, we should do the show here, he's like, yeah, good idea. Later on, that night, a storm of applause filled the entire tent.
Great job, everyone! With this, I'd say we've certainly informed the people of this country that the prince has recovered. I shall express my gratitude to you all, both as the king and as his father.
All of us in Circus are extremely honored. Oh, hey, Ginia, where the fuck have you been? We'd been summoned to the palace to receive words of praise from the king himself.
But, Your Majesty, does that mean...
Yes, my dear. The show has convinced me that traveling with Circus will certainly help you grow. You may go, Calivis. Show me how much you've grown when you return.
Understood.
Oh, sorry, bird. Calivis answered cheerfully as the rest of us exchanged happy looks. Our new journey is finally about to begin. It saddened me to know that I wouldn't be able to see Speria again for a while. However, there was no hiding my excitement for this turn of events. Now I can be with you all a while longer. I turned to look at Ion next to me. he simply stood there, a sorrowful expression on his face because he doesn't get to go with us. Ion? Let's head to the anteroom for now. We need to renew our Mystic Tool rental permits and apply for new passports.
Gosh, why do we have to deal with all those bothers when we can just wing it?
And these are essential procedures, not something that can be taken lightly. We headed toward the anteroom as Celeste, who seemed to be in a bad mood, took the lead. But then... Oh, right, Ion, you go here. Thanks for all your help.
Right.
What? You need to check in first before renting any Mystic Tools. As for your rewards... wait a minute! Celeste had so casually moved on to another topic, so I felt the need to raise my voice. Told you I wasn't going to let him go. What did you say just now? It's as if...
It is just as you think. And today was my last show. I will be leaving Circus.
Why? I was taken aback by the sudden bombshell thrown my way. Thing? Ion? Leaving Circus? Why?
Hey, what kind of nonsense are you spouting? What do you mean by last show?
Are you aware of this, Ginia?
It's...
I felt my heart hammer against my ribcage when his face darkened. So that means Ion won't be joining our trip?
But you can't just say you're leaving out of nowhere like that.
Can you tell us why?
Our show won't be complete without you.
That will not be a problem. I plan to teach Calivis everything I know. He should be able to fill the void I leave behind.
That's not the problem here! Vilio, irritated, grabbed Ion, but it almost looked more like Ion was grabbing Vilio, but they just moved their sprites together. Contain yourself! I'll explain. Celeste interrupted to everyone. The state conducted another background check on all members of Circus in the event His Highness would be joining you all. As a result, Ion was deemed ineligible. That's all.
So Ion has to leave because of me?
Your Highness, please understand that you'll be the next king of this country. We cannot allow such a dangerous person to accompany you on your journey.
Dangerous? If it's because he used to be a gladiator slave, we already know that. However, the Ion we know is a good-natured person, not one who would cause any trouble. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter if he's a good-natured person or not. And there's a chance he'll be forced to harm others regardless of his desires. Unless the Intaglio ring seal, the curse that's been binding him, is lifted. Thankfully, Aless then explained what all of this was about. The Intaglio ring was a mystic tool created by the Great Spirit of Fire, a core item that had gone missing. Those who were engraved with the seal couldn't disobey orders given by the ring bearer. Ion had said as much to me before. But the other members who hadn't known about this were shocked. I wonder if this, because I was like, okay, I didn't know that this was going to be the going around with everyone. Again, maybe we split off and we leave to go with Ion. You know what I mean? Because it's his route. So you can't not have it. Listen, you cannot do what Nightshade did and have a route where our love interest isn't in the fucking route 90% of the time. That was bullshit. Like, it's your route. I love you. You're not even here. What the fuck? How do you fall in love with someone that, absence does not make the heart grow that much fonder that you cannot see your love interest in a game? I'm just saying. That's a bad idea. Anyway, but the other members who hadn't known about this were shocked.
So you became a gladiator because of that seal?
That's right. And the seal is still engraved on me now. If, by any chance, we encounter the bearer during our journey, I couldn't defy them. Even if they told me to kill the prince. I obviously have no desire to harm the prince or my comrades. However, there's no guarantee that I'll not just do that in the future. Not do just that in the future, sorry. Learn to read. Silence fell between us after we learned of Ion's circumstances. The king nodded as he looked at us. If you cannot believe it yet, I shall show it to you. Are these chains? It is a temporary visualization of the controlling magic the ring holds.
Okay, but we saw those fucking chains when he had the conversation with Aleste, remember? And I was like, but if they're like, no, he's not allowed to go with you, then that would kind of alleviate that Aleste is not. And maybe that was just Ion thinking of the chains and not Aleste having the ring. You know what I mean? Because then Aleste would send him if he was doing something nefarious. Plus, then Ion would also know where the ring was, and he doesn't. So, well, that doesn't. Okay, maybe he doesn't know. If Aleste had the ring, Ion doesn't know that, and this could all be part of the plan. I was like, no, he's not allowed to go with you, and then everyone fights, and then it's like, oh, all right, I guess, because then it makes him look like the goody two shoes, like person in control that he should be. You know what I mean? I hate that I thought of that because I would rather it come down to the end and if that were the case, be like, oh, no, and be completely shocked than have ever thought anything potentially bad about our Glasses Nerd boyfriend, okay? I'm sorry, Glasses Nerd side piece. I love our Glasses Nerd side piece and I don't want to think evil of him. Why did you make me think this game? I don't like that. It hurts my feelings. Anyway. This is what binds Ion. The main cause of everything.
Even without this trick, those with strong mana should be able to sense its presence faintly.
I turned my gaze to Pashalia and the others. They nodded with grim looks on their faces. I did sense magical power from him for some reason. But I'm not familiar with fire magic, so I thought I was only imagining things.
Yeah, same. I felt like there was something in the air. Now you all know why I should leave Circus.
Wait! I desperately tried to stop him from leaving. Are you really okay with this, Ion?
Okay with what?
I mean, we have no idea where the ring is, right? And nothing's happened so far. So I'm sure...
And there is no guarantee of that. It will be too late once something happens.
I don't want to say goodbye to you yet.
But you must, Your Highness.
Controlling Colivis were the aides standing on the sidelines.
This man used to be a slave. Even if it was only in matches, he has still killed people. His world is far too different from ours. You should not involve yourself with him.
Wow. Let's not be a dick there, Minister A.
But Ion taught me so many things. He passed on his skills to me because he knew he was going to leave.
You should not take heed of them, Your Highness. The words of a murderer are not worth listening to.
The moment I heard what that minister said, I could feel the heat rising in my head. You're like, thank God I don't have magic abilities, or I'd smite you right now, you son of a bitch. Talk about our precious angry marshmallow. Grouchy. He's a grouchy. He's not really angry. Zephora's the angry one. Ion's aware of his sins. Even without being told, he knows how dangerous he is. That's why he did this, for our sakes.
But it is wonderful. He has assimilated what he has learned and even put some arrangement to it. He will be fine now.
He even tried to pass on what he knew when he accepted the fact that he had to leave.
You do not need them, Your Highness. Please forget as soon as possible. It's just... Why are you looking at me like that? Do you have some problem with me?
Girl, say it. Unforgivable. I was about to raise my hand out of anger, but then...
Take this!
In an instant, bright red flames wrapped around the minister's body. Fucking Vilio defending our boyfriend. Lovely.
Ah!
Vilio!
Whoops, my bad. I get so irritated I accidentally let out a sigh.
Vilio!
What are you? Rest assured it's only low flame. It's hot, but it won't hurt you.
You're still worried.
Cold!
I put out the fire for you. Everything's fine now, right? God, I love our boyfriends defending other boyfriends. This is the man harem.
Put up with a little idiots. Don't cause us unnecessary trouble.
Put up with it, a little idiot, sorry.
Speak for yourself.
I know you're about to throw hands.
You all...
Ion and I were too stunned to speak as the others stepped forward.
If you think Ion's a bad influence on His Highness, that applies to all of us. Let me make this clear. If you're gonna single Ion out, then we'll leave too. How insolent! We made the wrong decision in trusting His Highness to these barbarians. Let's call the public security forces right this instant and have them arrested.
Celeste is like,
Aw. Hey, Greenhorn! Why aren't you doing anything? Did you not hear what I said?
Celeste remained silent no matter how much the ministers yelled at him. You know, I feel really... You know what? Look, there's still a part of me that, like, thinks that the game is gonna make you shady and evil, and I don't want that, but, like, man, I'm really into the idea that you were just like, fuck you and on our side. You're gonna defend us now, too. Oh, side piece. I feel sorry I ever doubted you, although there's still that little seed of doubt that, like, the game's making me feel this way. Like, yeah, I'm sorry I ever doubted you! And then you're like, oh, you really were evil and you backstabbed us, and now I feel totally betrayed by this. But I'll still love you anyway, it's okay. Listen. You don't slap glasses on a character and think I'm not going to forgive them for whatever the fuck they do. Come on. 99% of the time. Sometimes the glasses character, you're like, you're not my favorite, and that's disappointing. The glasses give you bonus points, but you know. But usually if it's like, I love you and you have glasses, I'll forgive any transgressions. Fine. Listen. Sanan did nothing wrong in Hakuoki, okay? A lot of people hated him, but I will stand beside that. He did nothing wrong, and we would all do the same thing in his position. Leave my poor little glasses bastard alone, okay? Weaving his way through everyone was Ginia, a bright smile on his face.
Oh my! What nonsense am I hearing right now? Entrusting His Highness to us was a mistake. So do you mean to say His Majesty has made a grave error in his judgment?
Ginia, you scoundrel! You loose tongue! Don't think for a moment you can remain in the palace if you cross us!
My humblest apologies. I'm now speaking as the leader of Circus, and this has nothing to do with my position in the palace. We cannot be so thoughtless as to dismiss this trip without careful consideration, given how crucial it is for the prince's recovery.
Did you just say what, thoughtless?
Not at all. I understand you're simply a tad bit worried about His Highness.
Oh, he really just silenced them. Makes me wonder if Ginia is always like this when he's here. Ginia bowed gracefully to the ministers and turned toward King Vigonia.
Your concern is legitimate. I do agree His Highness's safety should be made the highest priority. However, Your Majesty, as the leader of Circus, I'd like to formally ask for your permission to allow Ion to join us.
Ginia! Everyone in the hall, including me, nervously waited for His Majesty's answer. In that moment, King Vigonia slowly opened his mouth.
Are you fully aware of what you're asking?
Yes, as you may already know, I'm in charge of the countermeasure against the Intaglio ring.
He's in charge of the countermeasure. Ginia's in charge of something super important. They put him in charge of Circus, which you think is super important, but it's a circus troupe. Let's be real. But it's still important. It had an important purpose, but it's just funny when you're like, wait, what? Like, Ginia is way more capable than he pretends to be. He may act like, I just saved everyone, and we're like, you didn't do anything! But, like, secretly, he's doing a lot of shit underground.
However, should something happen to His Highness, I shall take full responsibility. You may do whatever you'd like with me.
Ginia had always been running away from his responsibilities during our journey. So for him to volunteer himself like that, it just shows how determined he is. It may have been the first time I felt so proud of our leader. I mean, listen, this is why Ginia deserves a route. Because he's so, like, you just underestimate him so much. He always has these little surprises, but you still, like, after he does this, you're like, still gonna turn around and underestimate you because, you know, you're a little vapid and lazy. But he's got so much more depth to him, and I just want to see it.
It hasn't been very long since I joined the group, And I've learned so much from Ion and the others. Things that I could never learn stuck in this castle.
And Clovis.
I'll have to carry this country on my back one day, and I can never grow if I only learn in this sheltered place.
This kid is like, I mean, okay, again, I know he's technically 17 and like a tiny little kid bot and like a chibi body, but like, he's like, it's so funny because you're like, God, he's like on the ball and smart and intuitive. Of course, because he's like 17, but he's also bit. I mean, I think he's absorbing things even though he couldn't move, couldn't do anything for himself. You know, his brain was still working and probably picking up shit. So like, you know.
I have to learn about everything. The truths and the lies. Good and the bad. That not your reason to entrust me to Circus, Father?
Fucking being schooled by a 7-year-old. King Begonia remained silent before Clovis's questioning gaze.
That is enough.
Breaking into a smile, King Begonia waved his hand.
It was my decision to leave Clovis with Circus. I never intend to take back what I said. Ugh.
So...
Hold on. Each and every one of you has forgotten the most important thing.
Important thing?
Just as the girl there asked earlier, do you not think we should see what the person in question really wants before making a decision?
Oh. King Begonia got up from his throne and walked to Ion.
Your Majesty, it is ultimately up to you, Ion. Up to me, you say. I have heard from Aleste what kind of life you've been living. And now I'm asking you, what do you want to do? I want...
With all eyes on him, Ion fell silent, his head turned downward. And then he spoke. Really just wanted to get away from all these fucking assholes. God! No, I'm just kidding. I would be Zephora. Zephora would be like, I can't believe I have to say I want to stay with these chuckle fucks despite the fact that I absolutely love them, but I'm pretending that I hate them and I don't want to be here even though I do want to be here. But now you gotta call my bluff? This would have been funnier if it were, but I mean, that wouldn't have fit for Zephora, but I mean, that's exactly how we would react.
I've never been given a choice in my life. In Ferris's underground arena, I fought under the command of the Ring. Even after I escaped the arena and lived in the capital, my life was still restricted. I simply joined Circus because Aleste recommended me. However, if I'm allowed to wish for something, even with this chain still binding me...
It was as if he needed to wring the words from the bottom of his heart.
I want to stay with everyone. I want to remain with my precious comrades, who accept me for who I am. I want to go on another journey.
Ion.
Took you long enough, dude.
King Begonia smiled as he watched us run up to Ion and hit his big body with no hesitation.
Very well, I shall grant your wish. Everyone, please take care of Clovis.
King Begonia bowed his head lightly as he made this request to us. So, I'm still a little concerned, like, who has the ring, and I have a feeling it's going to come into play. My original thought was Abby had it, and I kind of could see that being the case, because, you know, now he's got his own fighting ring, and then, oh, wait, hey, here's Ion, and, like, I got the ring, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that could fit into a character arc for him. You know what I mean? Like, just wanting to control Ion, not having anything to do with killing the prince or whatever. But, and Aleste is always so, like, the prince fangirl, that I would find it hard to believe that he has the ring and then kind of came up with this plan. Because this plan only would have come out of the fact that, oh, hey, everything, the flora worked on the prince. Oh, except for the fact that now he's still in a child body, so why don't we try this? Like, that seems like a long shot. And that seems like very, like, James Bond villain type level, where you're like, that makes no motherfucking sense. Well, I guess it's any kind of comic book villain level, right? Where you're like, your plot has so many fucking things that it had to go right and had to work out exactly a certain way. for this to even be possible. And if one little thing went wrong, what the fuck were you going to do? You know what I mean? Like, if Aleste had the ring, say, and was like, haha, it's a plot to kill the prince, you'd have to be like, oh, okay. So, what we have to do is make sure that we figure out that or maybe you developed it because, hey, Flora might be able to help the prince. Okay, then you devised the plot. Let's say that happened. Oh, okay. Let's get a group of people together that are going to go around and make the Flora bloom. Oh. And I'll put Ion in there because I have the ring that can control him. Okay, so they're going to go around and get all the Flora. And that'll heal the prince to a certain point, but not fully. You'd have to expect that maybe. I didn't expect you to get all of them. I figured you'd only get some of them. Okay, let's just say that was your plan. Oh, you're going to get like 3 or 4. So then the prince will be partially healed, and then we'll recommend that he goes with you on an no, you didn't even recommend that. Vilio came up with it. So then you're like, then one of those chuckle fucks will be like, oh, hey, maybe the prince should come with us. And I'll be like, good idea. Oh, but Ion can't go with you, man. And then you'll fight to get Ion to go with you. And I'll be like, gosh, oh, golly gee. And then I'll use Ion to kill the prince. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, that seems so fucking convoluted and bullshit. And if the game goes down that route, I'm going to be mad. One, because you used my glasses nerdy boyfriend who fangirls over the prince to be the prince killer, which is kind of fucked up. But also, too, that plot's so fucking convoluted and stupid. What the shit? Aleste is smarter than that. He couldn't be that stupid to come up with a plot that has so many fucking holes. It's like Swiss cheese. It's got more holes than fishnet. Okay? Like, nothing is gonna, like, you know? So, like, don't get me wrong, I'm concerned about who has the ring, but I feel like it's more likely Avi has it. Although has the ring to control Ion to kill the prince does seem like a really good plot line. You know? And, like, in this situation, the only person that would probably have it and do that would be Aleste, but that doesn't make sense because how the fuck did he foresee that this would be the turn of events? You know what I mean? And you'd have to bank that everybody would be, no, we need to fight for Ion, and Ion would be like, yeah, I want to stay with everyone. And, like, you'd have to absolutely know the psychology of every single fucking person here and how they're going to react to things and be able to, like, program that out and, like, dude, you're smart, but I don't think you're that smart. You know what I'm saying? Like, plus again, everything that had to fall into place perfectly. Or I was going to suggest it, but then that idiot dragon over there came up with it. You know what I mean? But, like, really? It seems so convoluted. You know? And again, you'd have to know that the Flora wasn't going to fully work or bank on the fact that we wouldn't get all of them. But what if we got all of them and then the Flora worked? Then I guess you were just going to control Ion because you have the ring and he lives in the castle too? Maybe? Type of a thing, and then this worked out better for you? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it seems so very far-fetched. But it was just that scene with Aleste talking to him that just made me feel uncomfortable, and it was the chain fucking little effect that they did, but I guess it was supposed to be more Ion being like, you know, Aleste being like, you know you can't go with him because of the whole thing, right? And Ion being like, yeah, I know. And then just feeling those chains around him. I feel like that's what was supposed to be on, but it just made me feel really, I'm like, I don't like what's happening here. But I mean, still, I guess the whole point was just, you can't go with them, and that was the, not Aleste is evil, but I don't like the game for making me think that and doubting our glasses nerd boy, okay? Listen. So, then I would say Avi probably has the ring, because what, we're gonna have just a random fucking other person that has it? That doesn't make sense. Like, Avi would have it. If anyone else, with the sprite. So, King Begonia bowed his head lightly as he made this request of us. So, I'm choosing to trust our glasses fangirl boyfriend, okay? Side piece. After our audience with the king, Aleste scolded Ginia, dragging him away to take care of papers needed for our trip. We decided to leave the castle first. I think it's kind of cute that the king rules over the entire country. But it's still like, but you have to have papers to cross the borders to the different cities. As if you're crossing borders to different countries. But it's just cities. Could you imagine? Like, okay, in the US, you're allowed to cross borders around the states, but, like, it's not like in the state you live in, you're like, well, I gotta get paperwork in order to go to the city next door. Fucking bizarre. Really weird. Honestly, it would be like living in the United States and having to get documents and papers and passports to be able to go to another state. That would really fuck up a lot of people in New England, I'm just saying. Ah, god damn it, I gotta get my paperwork in order to go across the border to go shopping. Like, you know what I mean? Because New England is very, very small and tight, and like, and it's really easy to just fucking go to all the states in a day. Like, you know what I mean? It's pretty fucking easy to hit them all. So, like, not like driving around Texas where you're like, there is no way I'm going to any fucking bordering state because, like, depending on where you are. You know what I mean? But, like, imagine living on the border of one state or another between two different states and being like, oh, I gotta get my passport to go to the next town. Like, but that's basically what's happening here. It's so weird. I can understand, like, permits. Like, oh, you have permits from the king so you can set up circus tent and do a performance, you know, but not like we're charging money. But
Did you see that minister's face when Vilio burned him? He was like, you scoundrel, you. That was so damn great.
The tension broke after we left the castle and started talking about what just happened.
Brady, you shouldn't speak ill of a victim, even when he isn't injured.
You're clearly smiling, though.
Even the water Pashalia released was a bit much, don't you think?
Yeah, I would have burned him more if I knew he was going to soak him like that. Jeez, you guys. It wasn't something to be proud of, but they couldn't stop talking about it. I looked up at Ion, who was standing beside me with a complicated look on his face. Are you mad, Ion? I am not. It's quite the opposite, actually. I am happy you all defended me like that. It is just... Just what? I have one question. Why did you cause such a ruckus? Our feet came to a halt when we heard that. I know it's been postponed for now, but you will be able to fulfill your wishes if we complete our duty. And you should be able to realize those wishes once this journey of helping Colivis comes to an end. We should have actually gotten our wishes before, because now we're just keep extending it. I feel like the king's trying to avoid giving us our reward. That's true. And? So why did you make such a fuss? Why did you say you would leave Circus? Basically, he couldn't understand why we'd do such a thing when our dreams were at stake. Because we love you? Ion's brow furrowed when he asked us this, and I, because you're our friend. Because it made me mad! It made me mad because you're our friend. Like, I mean, both of these are valid. Because it made me mad because you're our friend. You know, both answers. But definitely yes, because you're my friend. Good. Think about it, Ion. Would you just stand there and watch while one of us got kicked out of the group for something ridiculous? How could I? Then we're the same. I stared straight at his speechless face. I don't even want the king's reward if it means I'd have to leave my friends. To leave you, Ion. Oh. As my wishes... Well, it's still not clear yet. But maybe... I took a small, steady breath and returned my gaze to Ion. We've traveled the world and gone through so much as a team. I want a happy ending. One where we all stay together until we can fulfill our wishes. Like, I want that too. I want a happy ending where we can all stay together in the man harem. Game? We've brought smiles to every audience in every city we visited, right? It would just be so sad to know we couldn't keep doing that until the end. Ion took a deep breath and looked up at the sky in a silent daze. I have a lot of things I want to say, he muttered with a wry twist to his mouth. I do admit I feel quite relieved in that moment. I felt quite relieved, sorry. After that, we continued chatting on our way back to the tent. Ion and I walked behind the others as I listened to their conversation. And they seem to be having so much fun. Are you not going to join them? Nope, I'm sticking with you. I fear you might disappear if I take my eyes off you, and I don't want that. I can't deny it, right? I mean, it almost happened today. Ion was at a loss for words as I gently grabbed his sleeve. He didn't even try to push my hand away. I was so stunned when I heard you were going to leave. It didn't feel anything like when I said goodbye to Spiria. I felt like my heart had been gouged out by the thought of not seeing you again. I'm sorry. Ion, can you promise me one thing? Please don't ever leave without saying anything again. Ion blinked in surprise when I held out my pinky finger. Kind of embarrassing to be making pinky promises at this age. I want some proof that this happened. I looked at him, holding on to that feeling.
Fine. Oh my god, are we getting a CG?
Ion gently took my hand and...
Oh, oh, oh! Oh, my heart!
Huh? Oh! Oh, we're not getting a pinky ring. He's kissing our hand. Guys, stop it. Stop it.
You can't. Look at how beautiful he is. The CGs are so good in this game, guys. This is gorgeous. I swear to never, ever leave you, if that is what you desire.
And then okay. What? My mind went blank for a moment. That is super fucking romantic. Like, promise never to ever leave you if that's what you desire. Yes! Are we getting married now? All I could think about was the warm sensation on the back of my hand. Ion? What about the pinky promise?
What is a pinky promise?
He doesn't even know!
I have made a vow. And did I do something wrong?
I don't think you did anything wrong.
I am glad to hear that, then.
Ion planted another soft kiss on my hand. Oh my god, stop it. I mean, don't. It's so ridiculously romantic and beautiful.
I swear I will never, ever go away without speaking with you first.
The hot sensation of his lips robbed me of my strength. All I could do was prevent myself from fainting.
Even when I must leave you one day, I promise I will return to your side.
Okay? I would be the same way. Huh? What?
And this is not an order that I am forced to follow. And this is a promise, one that I make simply because I want to.
I think we all just died a little inside. It's a beautiful death. A moment Ion's lips slowly and reluctantly broke away from my hand, along with the warm sensation of his breath. What a bittersweet moment, someone said from behind us. Huh? Oh, such youth. It feels like I'm going to shrivel away just watching you two. Ginny is blushing about this, and it's so cute, actually. Ginny, did you see all that? Of course, honey. I can't believe Ion is...
No need to worry, Spacey. I shall smash his memory.
Hey, wait! Even if you bust up my national treasure of a face, I'll still remember. Hey! What's wrong? Heard something about you.
You are so slow. What are you talking about here? What are you talking about back here?
It's nothing! They're so gonna tease me if they find out. We were just talking about our upcoming trip, that's all. Right, Ginia? Well, let's just say they were doing that.
Our upcoming trip, huh? That reminds me, we still haven't decided where to go first.
If all goes well, we should start from Kalita. Oh, should we start from Kalita again like before? Well, that used to be the plan. We stopped walking after hearing Ginia's ambiguous answer.
And did something happen?
How do I say this? Allie gave me a second mission to do during our trip.
Aleste did?
Ginia nodded and stared at Ion, who looked confused. He did. And to tell you the truth, we received some important information just now. We've learned the possible whereabouts of the intaglio ring that's been missing from Ferris for 10 years now. Okay, I'm like, I knew there was going to come up, the whole ring part was going to come up eventually, but I was like, when we get to Ferris, is that going to be at the end? But now the main mission's going to be that. Okay. Well, that makes more sense.
And that is...
In order to free Ion from the ruthless seal residing in his right eye, the intaglio ring was the only item that might be able to do that. If we find the intaglio ring, does that mean Ion no longer has to live in fear of being controlled by the seal?
And just get to the point, Ginia. Does that mean we...
Indeed. Our mission is to acquire the ring. Ooh, perfect place to end it. Wait, are we going into the next chapter? perfect place. We're gonna start chapter 7, guys. That is the perfect place to end it. Starting in chapter 7 next time. Anyway, so, and we're at the perfect time. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.